Okay. So, good news, I can keep this vlog short for you, right? A lot of updates. Been hustling Friendtech. Up and down, mixed bag. Is she gonna poop there? She does. I have no control if she does. I have no control. So, thank you to my key holders. Thank you to my vlog viewers. I'll figure out how to add more content here. Eventually, I mean, obviously, you want to buy someone's keys who cares about the price and or cares about their followers, their holders, okay? So at least I kind of do that. I want to keep the price up. Should be able to keep it above 0.1 ETH, basically forever. No, the snipers, the thing is with the snipers, when a new account joins, like a crypto picture, so if I knew this, I'd join the first day. I had no idea what the hell was going on. So I didn't realize I was supposed to buy all my keys at like 0.01 or 0.02 ETH. Because the snipers, what you don't realize is by the time you see a new user join on Friendtech, the snipers have already pumped it up to like 0.01 ETH or 0.02 ETH. I saw a chart, I think, that the first 20 keys purchased will pump the price up to 0.02 ETH. So it actually starts, I thought it started at like 0.001. It actually starts at 0.000625 ETH, which is roughly $1, I believe. Yeah, so all the keys start at $1, and then they go up incrementally. I didn't do the math. It's probably a logarithmic function for how they go up, but a bonding curve. So the snipe. What's that? So the snipers will cook because they buy it at $1, then they buy it $2, $4. I don't think it doubles, but it starts out pretty flat and then it starts going up and up a little more. So yeah, it's interesting. Like I bought a random guy today with 1,000 followers. Pretty much anything under 10K followers, 5K followers, you have a chance at buying, like in that $1 to $10 range or $100 range. What's $100? 0.05. No, like the $1 to $20 range, like say like 0.01 to 0.001 to 0.0. I'll just say 0.02 ETH, which is actually $32. So say like up to 0.02 ETH. So anything like up to 5,000 followers, and it can't have a crypto picture. Oh my goodness. If it has like crypto maxi in the bio, forget about it. If it has like something related to crypto, the bots just immediately buy it up. They decide in like 5 or 10 seconds if they're gonna buy it, and they'll just activate their bot, and then they'll start spamming the mempool, and then within like 2 minutes, because like 90% of the people, as soon as they join, within 2 minutes they'll buy their first key. So the bots unless your bot spams the mempool, you're not going to be that bottom sniper. You have to have a lot of ETH to waste, and you want to sell because most of these guys, they don't hold, because you want your ETH back, your gas fees back to cover, because the price of the token is going to be negligible. I'll talk about 2 big snipes today, actually. Let's move on. The first was Team Unibot. So they tweeted at whoa. I mean, it's fun. You have a dog barking through the fence. It's exciting. Imagine if a man or a woman or a trans or a non-binary person is through the fence and Oh, 1 second. I think if you're trans, like man or woman, you don't want to be identified as trans unless you're like really proud of being trans. Oh, great, a bike over there. They're gonna go crazy. It's actually a dog next to a tent. Dog with the light on, collar. So, so most trans people, they just want to be like identified as men or women, I think. So I call trans people separate categories. So if you see like a man, a woman, or a non-binary person, say like through a fence, and they're saying like, "What's up, homie? What's up? What are you gonna do?" Just because the dogs have a lot of these hormones, that fight or flight hormones. They're I guess adrenaline. I'm not sure of the dog hormones. She's going over to have a few barks at that dog, then she'll be back in a second. But there's no fence there. She's just squaring up. The other dog's not barking. I only hear one dog barking. Oh, my ankle, man. My ankle and my ankle, the low ankle, the high ankle. It's all in the foot. It's breaking down. Just because I've been doing a lot of walking. I've been averaging like 3 miles a day, including my trip. But it's coming down. At Disneyland, man, it's automatically like 6 miles if you go to Disneyland. I'll be going in 2 weeks again. Feel free to apply for your shout-outs now at Disneyland. Choose the ride. Choose the shout-out. Okay, yeah. So if someone said like, "Yo, homie, what's up? How you doing?" Or they say like, "You want to check me out? You checking me out?" And you're like, No, I'm not checking you out. What? You checking me out? And then you, That's like how a dog acts when they see you through a fence. Anyway, she's still going after. She'll come in a second. Okay, so that was an aside. Yeah, so Team Unibot tweeted a few hours before they joined. I think around 6 a.m. they tweeted. Is she really still over there barking? I didn't realize she had a barking problem with people. Here she is. Hi. Oh, that dog's on a leash with a flashlight? You had a good bark? We missing Ella? Oh no, we got everyone. Okay, so Team Unibot tweeted around 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. European time. Asia, that would have been like 10 p.m. Australia, around there. 11 p.m. So Singapore, Japan, Korea, all those countries. Indonesia, maybe a couple hours before, like 8 p.m. So Team Unibot is joining. Okay, so they're joining. You can whatever. Get ready to buy them. But guess what? They tweeted, so everyone's going to be camping on the new user feed or looking for that contract to buy. And then once you get that contract, sometimes you get it a few minutes early, whatever. Like if you're lucky, they can join and then not buy right away. In this case, Team Unibot actually joined, but they didn't buy their key. I guess they wanted to announce it or build it up. So there was a 3-hour lead time between when they joined and when they bought their first key. So you can't, if you're new to Friendtech, you can't buy until the user buys their first key. It's just, thanks. So you want just to wait for them to buy, then they buy. If you're not spamming the mempool, you have no way of being first, because the bots are just going to buy first up to 0.02 ETH. Because if they can lock in those 20 shares, those 20 keys up to 0.02 ETH, and you're a moonshot, like an account that goes 0.5 ETH or 1 ETH, then they make 10 ETH to 20 ETH, right? Well, I'll say after the fees, the 10% sell fees, there's a buy fee too, but it's insignificant at the 0.02 ETH level. But at 1 ETH when they sell, obviously the 10% is going to be big. So if they can make 9 ETH off you, 4.5 or 9 ETH, that's cooking, man. That's a cook. So And they can do that all day. They can do that with like 10 to 20 people a day. They get enough joins. But again, it's a lot of work, and there's only one guy that's going to be making that much, the guy at the bottom, right? Sometimes it splits between a couple guys, 2 or 3 guys. Sometimes they rotate. Sometimes they don't snipe them all. So a Team Unibot, definitely they were all on. And then the second one, I'll just mention Steve Aoki. Steve Aoki. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's a big NFT guy, street artist, skateboarder, whatever. But he's big in the street art world, I think. And NFTs brought him into crypto. People were copy trading them, whatever NFTs he bought, his wallet, in 2021 when NFTs were huge. So Steve Aoki joined. So Unibot had like a 35,000 followers. Not a ton, just because it's a utility bot. And I mean, on-chain is big, but 35,000 followers, it's not huge compared to like followers of 500,000 like Hasaka Trades, but he's been around forever. So Team Unibot, they're only 3 or 4 months old. Anyway, so people were prepared, they joined. Team Unibot got sniped up to 0.5 ETH. The quickest you could have bought manually was 0.5 ETH. And even with a bot, like your own bot, that's not spamming, the quickest you could have bought was 0.4 ETH. But it did go to 1.5 ETH. So that's pretty cool. I think it's down to like 1.2 ETH now. But I was pretty conservative. I had like a buy up to 0.45 ETH. I just use a tool that can buy right away. But I mean, if I would have had it at 0.55 ETH or 0.6 ETH, I definitely would have got in. But I just didn't want to. I'm like, what's it going to go up to? Like 1 ETH? Do I really want to make like 0.4, 0.5 ETH with the 10% buy and sell tax? I'm like, I wasn't a big fan of it, but at the same time, yeah, I could have put 5 or 10 ETH in around 0.5 or 0.6 ETH. So yeah, if pretty much use any tool, there's a bunch of them. You just have to buy the person's key. They range from like 0.1 ETH to 0.5 ETH. And it just allows you to buy instantly when they launch. So it's really good for stuff that's gonna, that's gonna pump. You're gonna buy above all the people with the custom bots and snipers. But if there's no demand, like under 5,000 followers, and they don't have a crypto PFP, and they're joining, then you can buy really low, like up to 0.02 ETH, because those aren't going to be sniped if they don't have the crypto PFP and they have less than 5,000 followers. So just because there's so much junk, so many people, everyone's joining. Before, the snipers, mempool snipers were sniping everyone. Now they're not even sniping those guys. There's too many. They have too many keys. So yeah, Team Unibot, that was one of those plays. I didn't want to buy it 0.6 ETH. I should have. And then yeah, so don't buy through the app. Just use a desktop tool. A number of like Friendtech tools. Just search Friendtech tool, Friendtech sniper, Friendtech bot, anything like that, and you'll be able to buy one. They all have different settings. Some are better than others. So try them out. It obviously takes a few days. I spent 2 or 3 days just looking at them. I still really have just a small idea of what I'm doing. You got to buy early, and you have to know what you're buying. So that's tough. You only have a few seconds sometimes to decide if you're going to buy. Everything like I decided on the spot, it was junk. Like 9 out of 10 keys that I bought. Oh, it's a good picture. Oh, they have 50,000 followers. Oh, they're working with Web3, blah, blah, blah. Let me buy it, 0.2 ETH. And then next day I check, it's like 0.05 ETH. I'm down 75%. So again, there's very few accounts that you can actually buy above like 0.1 ETH and make money on. So you have to know ahead of time and be prepared. And as soon as you see it, you have your notes that say, this account is good. I'm waiting for this account, and then they join, and then boom, you buy at 0.05 ETH or whatever, 0.01 ETH if you're really fast. So that's just some ideas behind buying early. Can you really buy people and hope they go to like 5 to 10 ETH now? I don't know. Might be too late. We had the push. This is like the Bitcoin bull run when everything pumped. We have the Friendtech bull run over like 25 million TVL, or it peaked at 25 million. It hit 1350 on Hyperliquid, which is an index of perps, or a perp index for Friendtech. Hyperliquid is actually a great exchange. You don't have to use my referral link, but if you're not using anyone, use mine. It's like Hyperliquid, a referral called Duff. I'm not sure of the link though. But again, Hyperliquid is actually great. Here's another tip. Trading Rollbit perps, Rollbit news. Not a lot of people are trading news, especially the Tree Capital news traders. They're not on fucking org weaver. Sorry. They just pop out from the trees. You don't see them. Like if you go into a spider web, I heard they weren't venomous, so they're just annoying to walk into their web and have them crawling on you. Especially, they're super active at night in the summer. Generally, everything's active when it's warm, or a little cooler at night in the summer. It's probably the most active time for all animals. The cool summer nights, or I shouldn't say cool, warm summer nights, not hot or sweltering, but generally when most animals and creatures are active. Because right, the sun provides energy, you need heat, you need warmth to get the body going, to get everything going. And we have plants that do the, look, this is what I'm walking into every time. You see him? Like, look at that guy. Huge spider. Yeah, they're not venomous. It's not huge, but it's just fucking, he's afraid of me, definitely. He's not gonna come toward me. Look at that beauty. So, where the fuck is he hooked onto? He didn't build a web in the sky. So it's here. Let me back up. The nearest tree is way over there. The branch, okay, this is the nearest branch up here. So he's flung his branch all the way from there to there. Really? That's like, there's no way that you can't get caught in them. I'm gonna go way over here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss him. It's like crazy, right? There's no way. Or maybe can they anchor webs to the ground? Maybe they do that too sometimes. I don't know. Usually it's to a tree. So there's a lot of shit on the ground, less stuff in the tree. So easier to hide in the tree. Yeah, so Hyperliquid has Rollbit perps. Ox perps are there. And the third one, what's the third one? Bitcoin. That's pretty big. And Unibot. So those are the four big ones. On-chain perps that aren't on Binance. I don't think they're on a Gate or Mexi or OKX. So Rollbit, oh no, actually Bitcoin's on Mexi. The meme coin, Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 69 Eno. No, Sonic, 10 Eno. Sorry. Okay, so at that 20-minute mark, thought it would be short. So yeah, you can trade those four big perps on Hyperliquid, and there's always news. There's a ton of news, and you get a 10 or 20% move. Yeah, there's only like $50,000 in liquidity for 1 or 2%. But if you're like one of 3 people trading, and a lot of people don't have $50,000 on chain, on Arbitrum, you actually have to bridge to Arbitrum or withdraw from an exchange. Every exchange supports Arbitrum now, except Coinbase. Dumbass. Sent 10K USD Arbitrum to Coinbase because they thought they supported them after 3 months, and they don't. So it's just sitting there, and they won't refund. They don't have like a $100 recovery fee. They just don't refund. So until they add the pair or the coin. It's super annoying. So just waiting for that $10,000. I mean, that's a lot. That's like, I mean, it's a lot and a little. My monthly expenses are somehow like, no, actually they've come down a little. My monthly expenses are like 8K, sometimes 9K on a higher month. It's just hard living in LA. I mean, some people, it's like New York, family of 4. I saw something like 3 years ago. I thought it was crazy. Their monthly expenses are $20,000, and both parents are making like $120,000 a year in New York, and they're struggling to pay their bills. That was like a $7,000 a month house, $1,000 a month for 2 cars lease. So a lot of crazy stuff adding up. The school, I don't think it was private school. Because private school would have been, well, maybe they went to private school. That's definitely a huge difference between your taxes going to public school and having to pay out of pocket for private school, which can be like $15,000 on the low end per kid, around like $1,500 a month. To like school session is 10 months, so you usually pay for 10 months. To some schools where it's like $50,000 a year a kid, you got to be a millionaire to send your kids to that. And there's studies that said there's no added benefit for private school over public school unless it's a terrible public school. Then yeah, but if it's a decent public school, it meets all the standards of education, then it's fine. Or if it has like certain extracurriculars, or you really like the sports team, then yeah, you can send them to private school if you can afford it. But the gap is actually between what is it? The socioeconomic gap is more important. Whether the child is actually, the parents have enough money to meet the basic needs and give their child what they want, their extracurriculars, because you don't want the child just sitting in front of the TV all day. It's not bad to watch TV. There's a myth that watching TV makes you dumb. It's not that watching TV makes you dumb. It's that if the kids aren't doing stuff aside from watching TV, they're not learning, they're not building life skills, mental skills, improving their brain, working their brain, exercising their brain through other activities. Either sports is really good. You might think sports isn't working your brain, but actually physical activity, the hunter-gatherers had some of the largest brains. They were out there moving, hunting, etc. Like than the Neanderthals. I'm not an expert on proto-humans, but the Neanderthals had large skulls too. Generally, large skulls meant large brains, by the way. And then the brain shrunk down when we split from we had a shared ancestor with Neanderthals. We didn't evolve from Neanderthals, but we had a shared ancestor. So the giant skulls and then the smaller human skulls that were more analytical, I guess. But at the same time, a lot of that big brain was used for hunting. So anyway, exercise actually, I think I read something that exercise improves your brain function the most. Out of all the stupid games, the Sudoku, the chess, it's actually exercise that will improve your brain the most. So why did I mention exercise? Oh yeah, children. So you want to get them to exercise. Okay, we're moving on. Any other Friendtech Alpha? Yeah, it's just hard, man. It's super competitive there. Unless you find undervalued keys of people that aren't active, that lost their passwords, and then a few days later they joined before this big run, OX Racer, 9.8 ETH. So he's the creator of Friendtech, by the way. And then the co-creator, like his main dev is Shrimp Peppy, which is 2.2 ETH, but whatever. I think it could be overvalued. People are still going after the airdrops, but again, the whales who bought early that are holding, there's a formula that the holders, the value of your portfolio is going to get you the most points, and probably the second most points is going to be trading activity. So I thought trading activity, fee generation would be the most, but they're encouraging people to hold, which is weird. You would think they were reward people that give them the most fees. That R, man, I'm still like, I have to force that R out. A lot of languages, like Asian languages, don't pronounce the R. Pronounces it's allophone with the L sound, so it just comes out L. But that's basically the same function as R. So like lead, like that instead of read. So yeah, I have to actually force pronunciation. Actually, children struggle with the R. So English children, it takes them a few years before they get the R. It took me like 7 years, I remember. In first grade, I started sounding out gird. I said like girl, and I got it. That's the hardest. The RL sound next to each other is probably the hardest for a non-native speaker. Like girl, so hard because you have to pronounce the R and L right next to each other. Girl. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like the rolled R too is pretty hard for a non-Spanish or Latin speaker. Arriba. You gotta just get it, and you gotta force it. Really roll that tongue hard. Anyway, sidetrack. Okay, I'll keep it short for you all. Do I have anything else to say? Oh yeah, the banana. I'm wearing the freaking shirt. I wore the shirt to remind me. I had my wife buy the shirt at Target to remind me of banana. Actually, I thought it would dip to $3 or $4, and then nope, it dipped to $5.50. Just a quick wick. Opened at $6.20 and back up to. In the airdrop, they fixed it so no one who made a profit was getting the double airdrop or extra money who sold after the snapshot. And it got sent, man. It actually hit $10.50, then it dumped to $8.20, and then it bounced to $10.10. I saw it. Then it was like $9.57 when I last looked. I'm actually hoping for a move up to $13. So even though the market cap right now says like 95 or 100 million, it's about 25%, I think, or 23%. And that's locked for 2 years. They're not distributing bonus tokens for 2 years. Revenue sharing will, I think for the next couple weeks or the next month, 100% will go to holders. So that's cool. Encouraging people to hold and earn that APY or APR. Annual percentage yield. A little different. I think yield, APY is auto compounded continuously. APR is fixed rate compounding, something like that. I don't know. So APY is usually a crazy rate. APR is more realistic, the average rate over the year. Like a 700% APY might be a 30% APR. I don't know how it works exactly. I know there's a formula for that too, a compound interest formula. So that's that. I kept it short for you all. Just looking for the ball to terrorize that guy. I don't know if that's him, but don't know if that's him. He's not kicking the ball. He might be there. That's it. I should probably do a little workout tonight, but that guy just makes me nervous. If that guy wasn't sitting there, I would. Hi, Maya. So I'll get out of here. Again, yeah, Friendtech, it's hard, man. It's hard. You got to grind. Grit and grind. You can't just wait for maybe you can. I haven't been paying attention for an influencer to call a FT share, but they'll call it in their Discord. The best plays now are for people who have bots. You buy their keys saying building a bot, boom, buy their key at 0.05 ETH, right? It's like 0.3 or 0.5 ETH, bam, you're good. You roll in the dirt again? So yeah, but it's really a grind. You gotta hustle, or you can buy stuff at like big accounts at 1 ETH or 0.5 to 1 ETH and hope they go to 2 ETH. Then you'll make like 1 ETH at 2.5x's after fees. So yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough now. It is a grind. News trading, big news coming up. The ETF, an insider, goes by the name of Naughty, told me that the Fidelity and BlackRock ETFs for Ethereum spot are going to pump big. So you can buy in that first 1%, maybe even 2%. I think you can ride it to 3 or 4%. So pretty good. I don't think it does the 15% pump or 17% pump that, was it? Oh, it was 20%. It was 26.2K and it hit 31.5K. Yeah, so I don't think it does the 20% move that Bitcoin did. Different market, different narrative. But maybe people spread the Ethereum narrative. So yeah, definitely you want to be paying attention. Tree of Alpha, Tree Capital, Tree News, they're scanning the ETF, the SEC.gov ETF site. So should be the first to buy when the alert comes in. But yeah, it's going to be tough. When they file for that Ethereum ETF and you're not around on the feed and you have to buy at like 2 or 3%, then it could dip back to 1.5%. No, I think it might dip. If it goes to like 3%, it might dip to 2%. Say Ethereum is, I'll just make it easy, $1,500, and then it goes up to $1,550, and then it dips back to $1,530. So you can buy between like $1,530 and $1,550 if you see it in the first 5 minutes. But if it immediately shoots up to $1,600, 6%, 6.5%, 6.3% pump, then 6.6%, then you might be out of luck. So yeah, you definitely, I would buy like a pullback to 1550 if it went to 1600 and to ride the news, but obviously buying that first 2%, buying before 1530, before 2% pump, is going to be the maximum risk reward. Like anything I talk about, sniping is buying the bottom. Friendtech, early buying, like the first buys after the snipers, or buying accounts. Ella, don't go there. So that's why news trading is so beneficial, because you never really know where's the bottom, where's the top. But if you can buy early or short early, short the fastest, then on FUD, you're on top of the world, okay? It's the ultimate goal. Be early, sell your bags to other people. That's the ultimate goal. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to sell at a higher price, or when you short, you want to buy at a lower price. So buy at a lower price and sell at a higher price. It's the ultimate goal of trading, okay? It's always been buy low, sell high. It's undefeated, as GCR said, a fake GCRO. So like, there's so many, there's like a secret cult of admirers, like a secret group. There's probably a couple of them, but someone told me, like, we follow all of GCR's calls. We study them. Someone did like a 92, 1 year 92 tweet GCR call in performance. And it had like a 90% win rate, something like that. So anyway, GCR fan club is out there. Underground, of course. GCR is nowhere. He'll be back eventually. But again, he didn't want to influence the markets. But he's probably on an alt posting. Nobody knows the alt. It's not Ming X Mecca. And there's some GCR alpha. And you got to be positive. So at the end of the day, if you keep grinding, right, the grinders win. It's the grind to beg ratio. The higher your grind and the lower your beg, and asking for help or money, where you're like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? It's different if you tried for like a couple hours, you can't figure it out, you ask for help, or you say, where's the best place to do this? What's the best method to find out this? Then, okay, that's fine. That's not really begging. It's just asking for help. But if you're like, oh, what's this? What's that? Every day. What's this? What's that? Where's that? What do I do with that? How do I do this? I don't understand that. We don't even put in any work. Then your beg rate goes up and your grind rate goes down. So high grind rate, low beg rate. I see so many people like that in Tree Capital, and they're going to be the wealthiest. They're not just lucky. Okay, it's about the grind. You put in the hours. You put in the grind, and that's it. So many. No shout outs. You know who you are if you're a grinder. You just check your P&L, man. And of course, the people that are just starting out are going through a bad streak, but you're still a grinder. You'll turn it around. But it's hard when the market's going down. When the market goes up, then your grind to beg ratio is amplified. You can still make money by begging. Beggars do make money when the market's up, but when it goes down, beggars get hurt the most because they can't beg. They beg from the grinders, then grinders are only making a little money in the bear. So that's that. And then the grinders get paid in the bull, the beggars get paid in the bull, everyone gets paid. Thanks. Always be positive. Again, this work ethic, it's like your body's, hey. Your body's built to work. And people do it through grinding. And that's all I can say. Grind, grit, grind, and hustle. Sorry, I can't close this out with any excitement, but I'll see you guys a little later. Yeah, the work is very important. Again, you don't want to work like 14 hours a day. You want to like a solid 8 hours of working. People think, oh, I want to retire, but no. You want to do something that's working your mind for at least 8 hours a day. Could be gaming too, but again, if you're just gaming and not making money, it's kind of pointless. You want this work where it's challenged, where you're failing. Well, I guess with a new game, you can fail a lot. Okay, sorry. That's it. See you guys later.